Okay. So, Stotram. Stotram means they are Sanskrit poems or, you know, hymns and poems written in praise of either a god or a guru or the divine. Hmm? Sanskrit language itself, the language, among all the languages of the world, and I don't know many other, there might be other languages which are very healing language, but Sanskrit itself the language itself has healing power. So when anything is written in this language, when you recite them, or even if you don't recite, sometimes you hear it from someone, it has those healing power. On top, it is a stotram. Stotram means a Sanskrit poem with a lot of meaning to it. So, as I said, it can be for a god, it can be for a guru, it can be also for the divine universe. Gods is like, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. Guru, anybody can be, gurus, Shankaracharya and all this. And divine is the ultimate, ultimate, the God, which we all say. So, I want to talk today about two stotrams, which has really touched me and I want to share with you. The first is Kanakadhara Stotram. Kanakadhara Stotram, the story goes like this. Shankaracharya, in the previous time, people used to beg these swamis and these yogis and these Sanskrit scholars and masters. They were mostly like, they used to beg at people's home, and they used to survive on that. They would not cook. This is their way of living a very humble life, and people would also give them whatever they have. Hmm? आज के दिनों में नहीं होता. If you remember, I don't know if you in my town, I don't know if it happens still in my house or not, because my parents have left, and some 19 years back or more than that, I got married 19 years back, and before that also, I used to remember people used to come, they used to sing all these holy people used to come with bowl and all these things. They will sing, and we will bring rice, we will bring potatoes and everything, and we will hand it over to them. Sometimes we would also give money, but ज्यादा क्या होता था, चावल वावल ही देना होता था, dal chawal and all these things. So in the same way, Shankaracharya used to travel and he used to take all these alms from others and survive on that. One day he entered a very old and a poor lady's house. And this poor lady had nothing to offer. She didn't even had her own, she couldn't even eat. Hmm? She couldn't even meet two ends meet for herself. And how would she give it to him? She didn't have even a morsel of rice for herself. And how would she give it to him? But she was trying to see, okay, what's there? What's there? What's there? Can I give him something? And she found a withered gooseberry, not a rotten gooseberry, withered gooseberry. Withered means purana ho gaya hai wo. And and when she gave this to Shankaracharya, he was so overwhelmed with gratitude. He was just thinking, thinking about the heart of this lady. She herself does not have food to eat. She doesn't even know whether how is she going to survive, but she's thinking about him. And she was like, he said, I really pray to Goddess Lakshmi that, she makes sure that she has all the wealth of the world. So Goddess Lakshmi came, and she told Shankaracharya, you don't know about this lady. I cannot give her anything, because she was in her past life, she was a very, very, miser kind of a person. She never gave anything to anybody. And that's why I cannot give her anything. Her karma is so bad, and she has never given anything to anybody. So it's better, she stays like that. She needs to stay in this way because of her karma. So Shankaracharya almost argued with goddess Lakshmi, and he said that no, you can't do this to her. That was past. She learned her lesson. She has become such a humble, such a big hearted lady. Now she has changed. So her karma should be eradicated, and you should grant her, the wealth so that she can live a very good life. And he tried to convince Mata Lakshmi that, see her heart, the heart with which, she is trying to serve now. Past is past. She has learned her lesson. That's when Mata Lakshmi listened to her. And she then blessed this lady with golden gooseberries. And her whole house was filled with golden gooseberries. And now, can you imagine, so much of golden gooseberries, how rich she had become. Okay. So when these stotrams are not, people when they just, yeah, people who are not understanding the spiritual science and everything, they just take it as a means. Oh, ye paise paane ka stotram hai. Let me just do some stotram, and then I will get money. Hmm? But these stotrams are also way of teaching our way of how are we going to get so much of abundance in our life. How is it possible to get so much of abundance in the life? And what makes you not get abundance in your life? This story itself is an example of telling you what do you, when you do this, you will not get abundance. And when you do this, you will get abundance. The story itself is a depiction of that. So what we learn from it is that if you are not giving to anybody, this world is a beautiful, everything is a beautiful balance of giving and receiving, beautiful balance of giving and receiving, neither too giving, neither too receiving. And what happens that if you're always thinking, see, if you breathe also, see, breath, try to take only breathe, try to breathe, don't breathe out, try to breathe. How long can you maintain that? And try to now breathe out. How long can you maintain that? It's not possible. सिर्फ सांस लेते रहे, लेते रहे, लेते रहे, छोड़े नहीं, छोड़ते रहे, छोड़ते रहे, छोड़ते रहे, ले नहीं. Both of them will not allow us. So everything in life is like that. In the same way, most of the people, there are two extremes, and other people, now here I don't need to talk about that. Some people are only giving, that also creates karma. In the next life, sometimes they are born as handicapped, so that in this life they don't give anything, they just receive it from people. So even, we have to be, but in this stotram talks about that if you only take and don't give anything, hmm, this is the karma you create. Hmm? So I was hearing a story, and sometimes you think, okay, and karma can be everything. It's like whatever you have, you should give. Whatever you have in excess, you should give. Anything you have learned in excess, it's not just money. You have learned something, teach somebody something. If you have learned meditation, teach others. If you have understood something, is this going to be of any help? Teach it to others, show it to others. Anything of excess, if you give it, it is, we think that, okay, मैंने बहुत बार सुना है. And so, once somebody joined, and old fellows, especially my father also, they have this tendency, even many people have this tendency, you know that um, किसी का अच्छा ना करो तो किसी का बुरा भी ना करो. Have you heard about this phrase? And do you agree with this? Do you agree with this? किसी का अच्छा ना करो तो किसी का बुरा भी ना करो. Do you agree? Yes. Hmm? And why do you agree? What is your opinion on that?
আমি আমার ওপিনিয়ন যে আমরা অনেক সময় অনেক কিছু ভালো করতে পারি না, বাট আমরা বসে বসে বিচিং করতে পারি বা খারাপ কথা বলতে পারি, বা ওর ওর পার্টটা না বুঝিয়ে আমরা অনেক সময় কমেন্ট করে ফেলি যে ও এরকম এরকম। এটা অ্যাটলিস্ট না করা উচিত আমার কাছে মনে হয়। যে আমরা যদি অ্যাটলিস্ট তার জন্য প্রে না করতে পারি বা তার সাইডটা না দেখতে পারি, অ্যাটলিস্ট আমাদের এমন কিছু বলা বা ইয়া করা উচিত না যেটা ওর জন্য, ও যখন শুনবে বা জানবে মন খারাপ করবে। আগে জানা উচিত, তারপরে কিছু করা উচিত। অনেক সময় হয় যে আমাদের সময় হয় না বা কোনো কিছু হয় না, আমরা
হুম
করতে পারতেছি না, বাট অ্যাটলিস্ট আমরা তাকে হার্ট তো না করি
হুম
বা কিছু না বলি। কেউ যদি বলে আমরা হয়তো যেমন রিসেন্টলি একটা ঘটনা ঘটছে যে এক জায়গায় একজন এমন কিছু কথা বলতেছিল, আমি কথার সাথে এগ্রি ছিলাম না। আমি আমি শুধু এতটুকু বলছি যে দেখো আমার আমার মনে হয় জিনিসটা ঠিক না। আমার আমার কাছে যেটা মনে হয়েছে বলার পর আমি বলছি তো ঠিক আছে বলে আমি ওখান থেকে উঠে চলে আসছি, কারণ এর থেকে বেশিক্ষণ থাকলে আমি ওই কনভারসেশনে পার্টও হইতাম, প্লাস হচ্ছে আমি খুব বেশি আর্গুও করতে পারতাম না।
হুম
ঠিক
হুম
আছে, কারণ অনেক সময় আমি কারো মাইন্ড চেঞ্জ করতে পারবো না, সে যদি প্রথম থেকে এটা ধরে রাখে। তো আমার
হুম
কাছে এরকম মনে হয়েছে যে
হুম
এটা আমার ওপিনিয়ন, নাও সত্যি হতে
Yes,
পারে।
absolutely, absolutely. যখন can relate it to animal abuse. If you cannot do anything for strays, do not hurt them. Okay, okay, okay.
এটা সবার ক্ষেত্রে, মানে সে অ্যানিমেল বলছে, বাট আমার কাছে মনে এভরিথিং।
Yeah, yeah, true, true. But it is true for when you cannot do.
হ্যাঁ, এটাই বললাম,
When
যখন
you
পারবো না।
cannot, হ্যাঁ, যখন
হ্যাঁ,
পারবা
যখন
না,
পারবো না
হ্যাঁ
তখন।
হ্যাঁ,
হ্যাঁ,
তখন তখন মানে কারো ভালো না করলে কারো খারাপই করবা না।
ওটাই ওটাই দিদি, আমি এটাই
Huh?
বলতে চাইছি।
But I'll tell you a story, and now I'll tell you a story, and then you'll understand. Hmm? It's a true story, okay? It's not I'm not making it out because many things happens, and during meditation, sometimes diseased people can come and talk to you, and many things happen. When you meditate, you can get a lot of. Also, you can connect to the diseased ones who have died. They will come and tell and everything. So there was this very rich family, very rich family, and this rich family, and they had a son and everything. Suddenly their son died. Suddenly the son died in an accident or something, and they were shattered. Hmm? They were shattered, and they took them some time to fathom what is happening, and why did that happen to us and everything. And then the both of them, the rich family, the parents were meditators as well, became meditators. Maybe they were meditators or later they became meditators. When they meditated, their son came in their meditation and told them that, you know, that the karma that, we think that, oh, he has not done anything. Why did he suffer and this thing? He said, just because he had the capacity to help people and he did not help people was the karma that was got created to for this son. They had the money, they but did not use the money to serve others. They had so much of money. ऐसा नहीं है कि कम है तो दे नहीं पाएंगे, बा कम क्यों है, हमें कभी हमारे पास कम नहीं होता है, हम हमेशा देने के लिए कुछ ना कुछ रहता है. And this, so that's what it's like. When you can do and you do not do it, that is also a karma. Karma is not about doing something negative. Karma is also about when you can do and you do not do it. See, this lady, she did not do any bad to anybody, right? She did not hurt anybody, she did not do anything. But with her money, she could do a lot of service to others. She never did that. And that is how the karma got created. Hmm? So that's why when I talk about seva and everything, and we think, ah, kal karenge, parsu karenge, koi aur hai karne ke liye and everything. Yeah. So just ask yourself that am I doing what I can do? Hmm? If you cannot do what you cannot do, it is okay. But and so, or if you don't do what you cannot do, it is okay. But if you don't do what you can do, you are a failure. That's what Sadhguru says. It is also a karma. Hmm. So Remember, always remind her, what is the small thing can I, what can I do, what do I have, how can I serve. That's why service is so important. It is also, ऐसा नहीं कि आप अच्छे कर रहे हो, आप बुरे करने से भी बच रहे हो. It's not about servicing. Service means you're doing many good is happening, but at the same time you're also stopping yourself from creating karma of not serving when you can serve. Okay. So this beautiful stotram talks about it. And there is this, where there are so many beautiful stories of Buddhism has such beautiful stories of the same thing, giving, and with what heart you give, that is also important. Some people give and try to see whether others are watching or not me. Oh, I'm giving this much. देखो मैंने उस आश्रम में 1 लाख रुपए दान किया है, 10 लोग और जानने चाहिए कि मैंने दान किया है. So it is also important with what heart are you giving. Even if nobody is watching, can you also serve? Not just money, anything, anything. Even, I tell my volunteers, many volunteers, now I'm not, so many of them are working behind the scene, like especially Nipa and Minakshi, they work behind the scene. So I've trained them, don't do volunteering just to be seen by people. Service means the great or greatest of good fortune also comes to those who are working so much behind the scene and also don't want, oh, it's okay. Even if nobody knows what I'm doing, it's okay. But I'm serving. That is the greatest kind of good fortune a person can accumulate. Yeah. So this Buddhism story talks about this, what is that called? Sudata, wealthy man Sudata. What a beautiful story Buddhism has. He became rich 3 times, he became poor 3 times. But the third time, he had only 4 or 5 morsels of food. And his wife and they were about to eat, and that's when Buddha came. That's when his disciples came, and he did not, without even thinking, he gave away that the rest, the final leftover food that he had. He had no money, nothing. He became poor for the third time again, and the final leftover food that he gave to Buddha and the disciples, that made him, finally he became permanently rich, and that made him the richest man in India during Buddha's time. Yeah. We always think about milega, 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 kya milega. But see, friends, there is so much of beauty in giving. कि give करो तो अपने आप मिलेगा. Yeah. So then there is this beautiful story of another lady who wanted to, lamp, light a lamp for I think the universe or Buddha. I forgot, but it was for the divine or Buddha, and she wanted to light a lamp, and but she had no money to have the oil for that lamp. She cut off her hair to buy that oil for the lamp. And because of, see, this is what I'm saying, it is the heart that is, हमेशा मैं इसलिए बोलती हूँ कि कुछ भी करो अपने हार्ट को पूछो. बुद्धिज्म का ये निचिरन दाइशोनिन का मेन फंडा ही है, इट इज द हार्ट दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. सब कुछ कर रहे हो लेकिन हार्ट नहीं है उसमें, दिल से नहीं सेवा कर रहे हो, या फिर सोच रहे हो कि कोई देख रहा है कि नहीं देख रहा है, मैं कर रही हूँ. Not thinking or also not feeling that the person in front of me is also God, I'm serving that God. This is the heart which we create. Hmm? And this lady with the heart that she this lamp stayed in this state, in this lighted state for eons mean thousands and thousands of years, this lamp did not went off, did not go off. So this is a beautiful learning from this Kanakadhara Stotra. हाँ? हम सोचते हैं ना, we think that, oh, these rich people are always these people. No, rich people are very giving, so giving I cannot tell you. My brother-in-law has come today. Hmm? My in-laws family, they stay, all of them, 4 brother-in-laws and my mother-in-law, the whole family, the wives, kids, the big family, they stay in Assam. Only my husband is in service and he works here. whenever they come, whenever they come, I'm surprised. They are into garments. They travel all over the India too, and they have five, six shops, seven shops in one of the. They are one of the famous people in the town and everything. And whenever they come, they will never come empty-handed. They are filled with things. Dress for Ridan, dress for me, sabzi. My mother-in-law will ensure that I have so many kinds of sabzi, and I don't know how to. It becomes a struggle for me to fit in that huge refrigerator that I have. So it's, you will see, we think that, oh, rich people, oh, they are not, they are actually very giving people in all areas, and rich people are giving in money and everything. Good people, you will see why their life is so nice, so lucky they are. They have not become lucky, just it's not ऐसे ही हो गया नहीं है, किया कुछ है, बैकग्राउंड वर्क है बहुत, right? So this Stotram talks about this. Then I will go to another Stotram. This is the Kanakadhara Stotram. We will, and then comes another very beautiful Stotram that I really like is Gajendra Moksha Stotram. This is another story. They are not same, but I've taken two Stotrams to, because these are the two Stotrams I really like. Recently, at least, these are my two favorites. And uh, Gajendra Moksha Stotram is so beautiful. It talks about a huge elephant in water attacked by crocodiles. Yeah. And they are attacked from all areas, and such a huge elephant, it tried its best. It tried through the crocodile from the left side, then the right side crocodile attacks, and this was happening. All his four limbs were attacked by crocodiles from all area, and he was getting tired. Despite of being a huge elephant, he was unable to handle these crocodiles. That's when uh, he said, he called for Vishnuji, and he said, I have done my best, Vishnuji. It is now up to you how you want to. I have given it to you. Please help me. Please take me out of this. And that's when Vishnuji, with his chakra, he cuts off the head of all the crocodiles, and the elephant is free. Okay. Now let me just have a quiz, because I get very bored when I only talk. What are the learnings from this? Yes, I want to hear from all of you. Either you type, you open, you speak, please. I'm waiting. What do you learn from this small story? Hmm. And please unmute. Don't make it a boring session, friends. This is Seva, na? When you are also making a session very interactive, that is also Seva. Don't make it a boring session for me also. I also need some interaction that also makes me excited.
দিদি কোশ্চেনটা আর একটু করো না, আমি কোশ্চেনটা বোঝার
What
চেষ্টা
I
করছি।
what I'm saying is, this was the story. The story
হুম।
is that এই স্টোরিটা থেকে কি কি শেখা যায়? স্টোরিটা বুঝেছো?
হ্যাঁ, যেটা তুমি হাতির স্টোরিটা বলেছো, যে
হ্যাঁ,
আমি হ্যাঁ এই ছবিটাও দেখেছি। যে গণেশজি গরুরে করে আসছে হাতে, ইয়া নিয়ে সুদর্শন চক্র নিয়ে, আর হাতিটা হচ্ছে পানিতে কুমিরটা পা কামড়িয়ে ধরেছে,
they,
দেখছি।
they were all trying to
হুম।
attack,
হুম।
and the hathi, no matter how much it tried, it was unable to come out of it. That's when he finally called Vishnuji to please come and help me. And that's when then he, through his chakra, he cut off the head of all the crocodiles.
আচ্ছা,
head.
এখন আমি
And he
আমি
was
জানি না,
free.
জাস্ট আমি যেটা বুঝছি যে অনেক সময় আছে না যে আমরা অনেক প্রবলেমের মধ্যে যখন ঘিরে থাকি এবং আমরা চেষ্টা করি যে প্রবলেম থেকে আমরা নিজেরাই বের হয়ে যাব, তো মাঝে মাঝে নিজেকে না ইয়া করে দিতে হয়, যে কি বলে, আত্মসমর্পণ করে দিতে হয় সিচুয়েশনের সাথে, ছেড়ে দিতে হয় ডিভাইনের উপর, যে আমি আমার চেষ্টা করতেছি, বাট আমার তোমার হেল্প লাগবে এখান থেকে বের হয়ে আসতে। যখন এই মনের পিসটা তুমি যখন পাবা, তুমি অটোমেটিক সেই প্রবলেম থেকে বের হয়ে আসবে। মনের পিসটা হচ্ছে তোমার সুদর্শন চক্র, যেটা ওই প্রবলেম থেকে তোমাকে বের করে নিয়ে আসবে। তো
Hmm.
আমার কাছে এটা মনে হয়, কারণ এরকম লাইফে অনেক সিচুয়েশন আসে যখন আমরা দেখি যে আমি কোনোভাবে কোনো কিছু ম্যানেজ করতে পারতেছি না, এবং
Hmm.
আহ, মানে আয়দার বাঁচবো নাহলে মরবো, এরকম সিচুয়েশনও লাইফে আসছে কোনো সময়। তখন
Hmm.
হয়তো বা এরকম হয়েছে যে কি করব তা পারতেছে, তখন মনে হয় যে আমি আর পারতেছি না, আমার দ্বারা এতটুকু ক্ষমতা ছিল, আমি নিয়ে নিছি, এখন আমি
Hmm.
সব আমার সিচুয়েশন প্রবলেম তোমার মানে তোমার কাছে সমর্পণ করলাম, এখন তুমি কিভাবে ম্যানেজ করো ওটা তোমার ব্যাপার। আর এটাই আমার লাস্ট ইয়া ছিল, মানে স্টেপ ছিল, যে এরপরে আমার দ্বারা আর কিছু হবে না। যখন এই কথাটা মানে উম, কখনো আমার দ্বারা মানে এরকম হয়েছে আমার লাইফে একটা সিচুয়েশনে, যখন বলছি, বলার সাথে সাথে যে পিস অফ মাইন্ড পাইছি, এবং আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে যেগুলো কোনো প্রবলেমই না,
Hmm.
এটা বের হয়ে আসতে পারবো। সো আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে যে ওই পিস অফটাই হচ্ছে আমার সুদর্শন চক্র ছিল ভগবানের, যেটা আমাকে হেল্প করছে ওই প্রবলেম থেকে বের করে নিয়ে আসা। সো আমার কাছে এটা, আমার কাছে মানে আমি এখান থেকে এটাই শিখি। এবং এই ছবিটা আমি অনেক আগেও দেখছি দিদি, তখন ছবিটা তখন এমনি হাসতে খেলতে দেখছি, পরে গল্পটাও শুনছি, তো নিশ্চয়ই তখন মনে হয়েছে যে না, আসলে এটা লাইফের একটা মানে পার্ট, যেটা তোমাকে ছবির মাধ্যমে দেখাইছে, এখন তুমি কিভাবে নিচ্ছ এটা তোমার ব্যাপার। বাট
Hmm.
এক একজনের মানে চিন্তা আরেক রকম, বাট
Yeah.
এটা আমার চিন্তা।
Yeah. এখান থেকে, yes, actually, এখান থেকে there might be many interpretation. There will be one very important main interpretation. তারপরে everybody will have their own interpretation. That is also fine. Okay, let me see. What are the interpretation? Strength also has its limit. Very true. How much can we have to do our part? How much we have to do our part? Yes, absolutely correct. Absolute faith, total surrender. How much we are going through universe will let us out of that, and there is a reason behind every bad thing. Universe will let us out of that. We will either be more stronger or learn something out of it. I'm not able to understand. नहीं, तुमने तो बोला ही है खुशबू, एब्सोल्यूट फेथ, टोटल सरेंडर। ओके। ओ द बंगाली, अच्छा अच्छा, वो अपना, वो विपाशा भी अपना ही नजरिया बोल रही है कि जब हम शांत हो जाते हैं, वो चक्रा वो उसको रिप्रेजेंट करती है कि शांत होना। द चक्रा रिप्रेजेंट्स, आई कैन नॉट इवन स्पीक इन हिंदी बिकॉज देयर इज राम्या। सो द चक्रा रिप्रेजेंट्स peace for her, Vipasha, and she said it is like finally surrendering helps with peace. That's what she's saying. Okay. So yeah, let me see one more message. Okay. So okay. So what this Stotram is trying to say is that no matter how big you are, sometimes, yeah, good value to keep creating. That was mostly from the past Stotram Madhurima. The past, the first one, Kanakadhara Stotram, talks about that. Keep giving in some way or the other, create value in others' life. Yeah, true, true. Keep giving, whichever way, give. The receiving will happen on its own. We are so much worried about all the time. Have you seen? We are so much worried about receiving. Hmm? When I tell you also कि join the volunteers group, तुमको लगता है कि अरे फंस गए, हाँ काम करना, पर लेकिन अरे दोस्तों, तुम समझ नहीं आ पा रहे होगे तुम लोगों को कितना बेनिफिट मिलेगा। तुमने देखा है आज मीनाक्षी ने एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया मॉर्निंग में, क्या जबरदस्त। आई वॉन्ट हर टू शेयर अगेन, मे बी शी विल राइट the experience the sincere members of this group are getting, especially the volunteers when they combine, and sincerity also। सिर्फ volunteer होने से नहीं होगा, आप क्लास नहीं अटेंड कर रहे हो, volunteer भी ठीक ठाक से नहीं कर, नो, both of them volunteering. Also, I'm not asking you to be, कि मार पीट के अपना जीवन खराब करके करो. अरे मिनिमम जो सिंसियरिटी है, मिनिमम वॉलंटियरिंग है, वो तो आपको करना है. एंड मीनाक्षी इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ दैट. And आज भी सुबह, I don't want to, disclose it, because yeah, I want her to write the experience and share. Hmm? So if you want that kind of life in your life, magical life, जहाँ पे life इतना सुंदर से change हो रहा है, it's happening so beautiful. You will, don't you want a life like that? Hmm? Then why do you shy away from, or why do you are scared of surveys, volunteering? Why are you? This really opens our life. Okay, so now coming back to this. This is, friends, this is, oh my God, OMG. This is another, but it is not that. It is the first was of all about karma and giving is, and all these things. The second is about understanding few things. One is, that I think Shubhra, did she write? All of them are correct. She started with writing the strength also has its limit. Yeah, let me point out one and then talk. Strength, all many times we are meditating, but we are also doing a lot of brain work. Meditation means I want this, I don't know how it is going to happen. Universe, no, you have to bring it to me. But sometimes what we are doing, we are meditating also, and we are using a lot of our logical mind to achieve that. हाँ, मेडिटेट कर रहे हैं किस लिए, ताकि मेरे लिए रास्ता खुले. उसमें भी मैं अपना दिमाग लगा रही हूँ, ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए, ऐसे तरीके से माई जॉब शुड कम, दिस इज हाउ माई जॉब शुड कम, दिस इज हाउ माई, आई विल टॉक टू द पर्सन, एंड दिस इज हाउ द पर्सन विल टॉक टू somebody, and that's when I will talk about about my job, and let me call. So this so much of strategy then when you use, the universe cannot use its own power, unlimited power, because you have fixed views कि ऐसे ही पैसे आएंगे, ऐसे ही जॉब होगा, ऐसे ही मेरा सैलरी बढ़ेगा, या फिर ऐसे ही मेरा रिलेशनशिप ठीक होगा. You are not even thinking कि there might be millions of other ways of this problem getting solved. Okay, so it also comes to a person with who has things, and I can do it, I will do it, I have to do it. It is also like, this strength also has its own limits. You have to understand, friends, when you think that I will do it, I have to fix this problem and everything, then it comes from a lot of ego. Hmm? It comes from a lot of ego. You have to melt that ego. Okay, and I'm not saying कि, it also comes from fear, past traumas and everything. लेकिन कहाँ से आ रहा है वो? आप ईगो से आ रहा है कि ईगो को क्या लगता है, नहीं नहीं, कोई सॉल्व नहीं कर सकता है मेरा प्रॉब्लम, मुझे ही करना पड़ेगा. एंड सी हाउ मच सफरिंग यू गो थ्रू. See how much suffering you go through when you put too much of brain strategy to solve a problem. This is about understanding that we all have limits. What the universe can see, how the problem is going to be solved, you cannot see that. By telling the universe, by being a man, being bigger than the universe, you're telling, nahi, nahi, aise solve karo universe, aise solve karo. You, you are not allowing the universe the fastest way to solve the problem. Yeah. So, and another thing is that even the biggest of elephants, see, he also was unable to handle it. We think जितना big नहीं, जितना big, जितना बड़ा भी हो जाओ, enlightened भी हो जाओ, आपको surrender सीखना पड़ेगा. Even when, if you see, when I'm taking a class, I never feel I am taking the class. I just feel the, आज morning also, actually I was about to take another topic, and the moment I was about to speak, I got a nudge. I said, don't speak about this topic. And I just said, kya ho raha hai? Then I said, please give me some time. Let me really see whether this intuition or the nudge is correct or not. And in the last moment, I had to change the topic for today, because I was told not to take that topic today. I have to take this topic today. Stotram was not my decision. It was guided by the masters all around me. So when you have this, your life also becomes so joyful, so flowy, so miraculous, so magical. Hmm? Okay. And also you have to do again another, somebody said, Madhurima, how much can we have to do? We do our part. Yes, that is also important. You cannot become lazy. Some people use surrender as a form of laziness. They think है भगवान मेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर देगा, तुम 4 एसएस पे कुछ काम नहीं कर रहे हो, 4 एसएस जो बोला गया है उस पे कोई काम नहीं कर रहे हो, प्रॉब्लम के टाइम में भगवान मेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर देगा, कैसे सॉल्व करेगा? तुमको तो पहले थोड़ा एफर्ट तो देना है, एटलीस्ट 4 एसएस पे कैसे सॉल्व होगा उस पे तुमको माथा नहीं लगाना है, बट तुमको तो एटलीस्ट तुमको तुम्हारा एफर्ट तो देना है। तुम्हारा एफर्ट देने के बाद तुम कंप्लीटली फिर उसके बाद दिमाग दिल मत लगाओ, उसके बाद फाइट मत लगाओ, देन अगेन इट इज अनदर बिग प्रॉब्लम। इफ यू आर कंटिन्यूइंग टू फाइट कंटिन्यूअसली, व्हाई इज दिस नॉट प्रॉब्लम गेटिंग सॉल्व? देन इट इज a big problem that you have done your bit and you want to continue doing your bit. Do not allow, you don't allow, want to allow the universe to enter into the sports arena. Hmm? Same is with Khushbu, absolute faith, total surrender. Absolutely that same surrender. Surrender. Hmm? Yes, this is also true what Nipa says. How much we are going through universe will let us out of that, and there is a reason behind everything. Yes, when you understand this understanding, then also a beautiful feeling of surrender happens in the heart. Hmm? We will either be more stronger or learn something out of it. Yes, this thought also comes from a total surrender. कि मेरे साथ जो हो रहा है अच्छे के लिए हो रहा है. Correct? Yeah. And see, another thing that I'm saying, and let me see what Ramya is saying. If we pray from the heart with complete trust on God, it will help. Yeah. Trust also means surrender. कि एक time के बाद you cannot keep holding on to it. You have to surrender. Okay? Keep creating good values in people's life. Yeah. Yeah, that though is from the first one. So friends, now just the last part and then we will do the Stotram, okay? Very beautiful Stotram, two of the Stotrams we are going to do it. Hmm? So the last part is the cutting of the head part. The cutting of the head part is the ego part of all of us, which thinks that I only can solve this problem. I only will be able to take care of my parents. I only have to take care of my children. I only have to do this. If I'm not there, who will do it? You know, many people have this now. That's why they go through so much of pain, I know that people have very difficult life, and I have so many of my students having different lives, difficult lives, but still I keep encouraging them, don't, out of fear, out of pain, out of stress, always they become control freaks. They want to control everything. If despite of meditation, I can see with some that they want to control the thing. मेडिटेशन भी कर रहे हैं लेकिन दिमाग से मेडिटेशन के बाद जो हल्का सा वो सरेंडर एटीट्यूड होना है, वो नहीं हो पा रहा है। क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं, और इट इज टेकिंग देम टू डिप्रेशन because you are the last part. See, there are parts to meditation, there are parts to the process of your manifestation. First is, yes, this is what I want, then that at that time you're not giving up. This is what I want, creating, manifesting, visualizing, doing all these things. Then finally you have to surrender, knowing कि मुझे पता है कि यहाँ ये है, लेकिन whatever is right for you, please decide, friends. Yeah, that doesn't happen in most of us, and that's why see how much struggle we have go through. Because when we are focused, and that's why seva, why seva is so important, because when we are focusing so much on your own personal problem, you are not focusing on your personal problem with happiness, right? You're focusing on your personal problem with stress, worries, and kya क्यों नहीं हो रहा, क्यों नहीं हो रहा, क्यों नहीं हो रहा. But why does I have always seen my life has been since so many years of seva. एंड एंड पहले तो अभी तो इट इज नेचुरल, बट पहले मुझे साइंस समझ में आ गया था कि मैं दूसरी चीजों में फोकस रहती हूँ, मैं सेवा करती रहती हूँ, मैं देखती हूँ मेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाता है. नाउ मुझे साइंस में समझ में आया कि अच्छा, बिकॉज मैं अपने प्रॉब्लम पे इतना ज्यादा फोकस नहीं करती हूँ, नेगेटिव एनर्जी नहीं दे रही हूँ, तो प्रॉब्लम अपने आप सॉल्व हो जाता है. दूसरा चीज करते करते पता नहीं कब प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व भी हो गया, पता भी नहीं चला. राइट? This is what happens when we are not focusing. And it also another thing is surrender. जब आप ऐसा कर रहे हो, आप इतना अपने प्रॉब्लम के साथ वो नहीं कर रहे हो, सेवा 4 एसेस पे काम कर रहे हो, स्वाध्याय, सत्संग, सेवा, साधना, all these four S's. You are so busy with all these other things that you are not too much busy with your own problem, and the problem gets some time to breathe, heal, transform, not get any negative energy from you, and naturally the problem gets solved. Okay, with this, let us now do the Stotram. Let us listen to the Stotram. Just close your eyes and in a meditative state, just listen. Listen. This itself is like meditation for you today. Okay, let us listen. First, we will listen to